All right, now we're going to feature these. Moving day, what that actually means is these are going to go away. I'm going to move forward, and I already have another little box very similar to this that I'll fill up with pieces that I'm considering keeping. Some of these, like I said, I already know I'm not. I'll know which ones they are, and they're going to go into giveaways and things, and so you got to stay tuned. Some I know are going to be display pieces and are unique. So let's check these out, and we'll talk about the find pretty quickly. Now, I remember this came from Mecca, which is, everything is always, ready for rain. We'll take rain no matter what. But Mecca is in dirt. And this might seem a little crude to some people, but it's one of my favorite types. I don't really think that happened by accident. I don't think it was a Marl Mountain type of base. The patina's old on it. It could have broken as soon as they made it, but you never know. Beauty's in the eye of the beholder. I was just chatting with a person who's a subscriber, and grades are definitely a funny thing. That's the same thing with names on ancient North American people. Names, well, they just wanted to make something sharp that would work. That would bring home the food. This piece in my hands. Listen, they didn't have any name for it. We just to give people reference. It helps us. If I say to somebody Guilford, they'll think of a piece that looks like this. If they're in the artifact world, found the clay pot. I went there today. Look how thin that is. I think it's rhyolite, but it may be a slate based. We don't have a lot of slate around here. Now I grew up with lots of slate in upstate New York. But eastern central North Carolina here, that was a good find. It's on film. A lot of these are. I know I wasn't able to film this when I found it at Mecca. Very unique point. Look at the rhyolite. Different color variations on it. I don't know what all happened. But it's a great shape. It's a great size to me. Now look at these two. Sugar quartz and rhyolite. This was a deep brown, coffee brown rhyolite. That patina's this light brown. Rob, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Found it to jump off in Site 5E. Did a lot of relieving off the back end. You can see the whispers of it right here where my thumb is. It's a good piece. So some of these to people that have the highest grade flints, same rude. But, I don't know. It's the best you can get around here. You see pieces like this. Of course they had workmanship and talent. And this, made out of sugar quartz, super resilient, super strong and tough. Site 2, the rise. And here's a piece from the vulture. Can't tell you what material it is. I can show you better than most any museum will. That's a benefit we have as collectors. That's the greatest. Whether it's Relics Ren or whoever I'm watching, it's just like going to the museum, but in live time, and you get a better look at everything, and you get the reality of knowing the authenticity. The sugar quartz, same exact stone as this right here. Different places altogether. That one came from, and it's on film, Mecca. This point came yesterday. Notchville. It's a point I'm going to give away. I think somebody's interested in that point, which is fine. Doesn't strike a chord with me. It's unique. I haven't found stuff like that. This was a great piece right here. I think I found that at the Cove. It's really unique. I guess some would say that it's used up. I don't know if it was ever longer, sometimes it's hard to tell. Sometimes it's hard to tell. It's a great point. Here's a piece of quartz. It's going to find a home somewhere else. As opposed to this, which is pretty rare. Smaller quartz Guilfords. Surprised it's so quiet in my house. I know I got my 2 teenagers home, that's for sure, but it's quiet. You don't find too many of those smaller quartz Guilfords. And then 3, absolutely stellar points right here. All Mecca points. Of course, they're all made out of flakes. This one, you can see the very nature of it. Super unique. Again, it's the rhyolite that's dark chocolate brown. And patina's the light brown, the same as this. Great Marl Mountain. I'm stunned. I remember going to a museum specifically in Moab in Utah, and I was looking at the artifacts, and they displayed a lot of broken artifacts too. They're just valuable. But now in collecting, my perspective is like this that I have is so much better. To be able to find and get them out of the way of destruction is just crazy to me. And they're yours. They're nobody else's. They don't belong to anybody. The dirt. You can't own the dirt. You can't own rocks in the ground. Now you find them because you're free in a free land, and you find rocks or dirt or sticks. Well, you can decide you're going to own it. Just like I own these and claim them. It's a very strange paradox, isn't it? It's an incredible point. So as I finish, of course with this, from Opening Sands, very rare. Out of all these points, this is the one type I don't find very often at all. I've mentioned that already. All day long, it's probably a bow point. And they flaked that off. It's not broken. They relieved it. So we'll see. Add a little bit more rain to these sites and get ourselves out there. If work doesn't come in, I'll probably go out to Site 6 tomorrow. We'll see. Stellar Point, G10 and varieties. So I think that's a good tour. A good little museum, close up. I don't do them real often, every once in a while. But again, I want you all to keep a heads up, and much of this stuff I'll get out the door. I already know maybe 5 or 6 pieces here that I'm not going to keep. So that's just life, I've got to make room, and it'll allow me to find so much more if I get these into a good home. Hope you find out there.